Okay, so welcome back to some more Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game. Today we are going to continue with the Does Your Track Suck series, episode 5. I think we're going to do it just like we did the last one with like 2 random tracks and then 1 suggestion from you guys because it's hard to find them. A few of you were letting me know what you thought maybe the reason why it's not working, and maybe that's true, but for me, the best way it works is if it has like a name where there's like a generic name. Like Sketchy. Someone had a track called Sketchy, and there was multiple tracks that came up. And I'm only on PlayStation, so if you have a track, let me know what your PSN is so I know what track is yours. And since you guys seem to be liking this, maybe I'll pick it up on PC and Xbox or one or the other, and then we can try some tracks, some custom tracks for the other platforms. But let's jump into this and see if we can find ourselves some tracks. Okay, so the first track we're going to check out to kick things off here is called Don't. Now, what I had been doing was choosing like 2 random tracks right next to each other. And then lately I've kind of been picking and choosing, seeing what looked kind of interesting. And, you know, this track, the really good tracks you never really have much to say anything about, you know what I mean? And then the medium tracks are kind of the same way. There's a few things you can nitpick on, but for the most part, there's not a lot to say. So a track that's a little on the not as good side or the sucky side, while it might not be a terrible track, it has more to... Yeah, it's more to criticize, but it's just interesting to me trying to think of what was in their mind when they were trying to create this, you know, because we don't really know. Maybe, and I'm going to keep saying it. I said I'm going to say it every time. Which way are we going? That was the start, so we're going this way. What matters is that it's fun for you, but like right here, it's just a whole bunch of nothing. He could have put something there, even whoops, kind of like this, a little wall. There's no way. There's no way we're jumping in that table. Unless... Well, we'll have to see. Maybe you can actually double that finish line. I have seen that before, but that's still a relatively original idea, and I don't really see any way of getting to that table over there. Kind of offset whoops here. The flat corners here are kind of cool. A little bit different. Usually everybody has some kind of berm there. I think you could jump all the way over that. I might have to mess around with my bike tuning, but I mean, as far as stadium goes, it looks like he chose this small rectangle stadium, I guess. It looks like it's the indoor one. Yeah, it's definitely the indoor one. So he didn't choose a big stadium. I mean, there's some extra space, but I already mentioned... Oh, let's see if we can do this. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. It's different. To me, it's somewhat original because I don't see it very often. Usually, obviously, the finish line is the takeoff, not the landing. So to do it a little bit different is kind of cool. The layout really isn't that bad. I mean, the layout is pretty okay, actually. I just wish that there was more. You know, like here, I wish he could have put a few more things here. I mean, this is okay. Here, this whole section doesn't really bother me that much. I mean, it's kind of repetitive with just being a lot of tabletops, but you know, I keep saying it, I'm going to say it every single video we do here for this, that ultimately what matters is that it's fun for you. If you're having fun on it, I like that. That's by far the best part of the track. If you're having fun on it, then it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what I say anyways. It's just my opinion. But ultimately what matters is if you're having fun with it. And again, the layout's really not that bad. Now, I know I've said already a couple times that extra space isn't going to... excuse me. Extra space isn't going to destroy a track, because I know some people like using the big stadium, having a lot of extra space, but having long rhythm lanes. I get that. And this one, I mean, this one's really not that bad. I'm not going to take off for anything about having extra space here, because he actually did use pretty much most of the stadium for the most part. But I just wish there was more. You know, I wish there was... I think that's the main thing. We'll finish up this lap and then kind of give it our score, our suck star rating. And I kind of wish, if he was going to do this, I wish you could jump to that one, actually. Because you're just flat landing over everything. Offsetting these whoops a little bit was kind of cool. It doesn't bother me. The little ones are the big ones. You know, they're to each their own, I suppose. And this, I'm pretty sure you could probably clear this. I'm just not... I don't come out of the corners as hard as I would if I was just, like, playing multiplayer by myself, because otherwise I'm always crashing or hitting tough blocks or whatever, and I know that's super annoying when someone's always crashing in the video. But like here, I really wish there would have been something added on this long stretch of straight. But by far the most original part was that finish line. So we're going to give it like 3 stars. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I mean, that doesn't justify how good the track actually was. I feel like the layout was good. He chose a good stadium. The originality behind the finish line being the landing was kind of cool. It needed more, in my opinion. But again, if that's what you wanted, that's what matters most. So not a bad job, just kind of boring, I think. I think there could have been more. So let's jump on over and see if we can find another track. Okay, so here we have Ken Roczen's track, or at least one of Ken's tracks. It's called KR94 Moto. The reason I'm pretty sure it's one of his tracks is because it has a lot of likes and a whole bunch of downloads. So let's jump into this and see what it's about. A few of you were asking to see it. Now, I'm not sure if this is the second part you're seeing, or the second track you're seeing, or the last track you're actually seeing, depending on how long the video is, but I kind of want to try and squeeze it in there. So we have a kind of a tough double to get there. This one's actually kind of tough too. Now, I'm not throwing a preload in on that, so maybe it would have been easier with a preload. Some massive whoops into a huge double. Oh my gosh, we're never going to get over that, I don't think. And then this would be a triple. Okay, it looks like he chose the big stadium, and simply so he could run his rhythm lanes a little bit longer. And we kind of talked about that if you're using the bigger stadium than what it should be maybe, but you're doing it so you can run the longer rhythm lanes, it makes total sense. You know, it's not like that's going to hurt your track now. I mean, that never really crossed my mind until, well, I mean, it did a little bit later. Whoa, the track kind of turns there. It did a little bit later, and plus a few people mentioned it, so it looks like that's kind of what he was doing here. Oh man, this finish line is huge. I don't know if we're going to be able to, this track's actually kind of tough. For real. We get over this? We're like barely getting over that double, even with the preload. This one's not so bad. This section flows really good, and it works just right. And these whoops are insanely huge. Yeah, I don't see myself ever getting over that. That double, and then you would triple. I don't think I can get over it. I think maybe I have the wrong gear ratio. I mean, I think I'm set up with like the medium. Medium usually works on everything, but it looks like maybe when he was building this, maybe he's using the low, possibly, because some of this stuff coming out of the corners is kind of hard to get. Oh, we're not getting this now. Oh, maybe we will. It's okay, just about right. I mean, that's a really steep landing because I think usually that's like the takeoff, I think. And then this section's actually kind of hard. I'm going to slow up for it and then try and carry a bunch of speed into this. Oh my gosh, there you go. Maybe you have to slow up for it a little bit or hit it perfectly because of the way the track turns. 1 minute lap times? Oh, maybe. I'm sure like 55s for really good players. 55-second lap times, I'm sure. Especially if I could get this stupid double, man. This is hard. This double is really difficult. Yeah, I think I have a bad setup. Man, I don't know. Tough track. Good job. I mean, it's just the right amount of tough to where you want to keep trying. I mean, I kind of want to back out and just switch up my bike setup and then come back and try it again, but I'll probably do that after the video because it might take me a while to... I'm not very good at the game and it might take me a while to find the right bike setup, but I think I'm using the medium gear ratio transmission. And then this, it looks like you kind of want to... I mean, if you knew the track a little bit better, I'm sure it would help, but since I don't know it... Yeah, that's definitely letting us get over this. Not great, but it's letting us get over it at least. And those whoops are making this... Oh, actually, we got over that just about right. 59 seconds, so... Yeah, for sure, a good player, maybe mid 50, 55 or something like that. And that's without clearing this double here, which we're probably never going to get. Oh man, try hard mode right there. Yes, we got it. I wanted to at least get that once. Jeez. Difficult track, I like it. I mean, there's nothing for me, and I keep saying this, it's not like there's anything super original about it, but it is quite difficult. You did a really good job. I don't know if I expected it to suck. I don't know why. Part of me expected it to not be that good, and that's nothing against Roczen not being able to build tracks. I just, for some reason, I don't know. I don't know why I expected it to suck, but I kind of did, and it's actually not sucky at all. It's actually quite well done. I think he did a really good job. 56. Oh, yeah. Good players. Man, maybe a good player can turn like a 55 here. Maybe. If we're turning mid-50s, yeah, this will probably be the last lap. But this section right here is insane. Those whoops are huge. Yeah, we're not getting it. So we're going to check up here. And then we'll double, I think is what it is. Oh, man, it's a little bit farther away than I thought it was. But the double out was really easy. Okay. So, quite difficult. Nothing original, but it does everything really good. Kind of like the... well, it depends on if this is the second track you're seeing or the last track. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the video yet, but it does everything really good. It does everything really good. Nothing great, but it does everything really good, and the layout is really good. The flow is amazing. Once you actually get the lines down really good, the flow is awesome. Well, now we're kind of messed up for that. I guess you could choke up here too and triple if you knew the track really good, and then just turn this into a wall if you didn't get the run you needed. But really tough track, and you know, for me, I think having a difficult track where it's difficult enough that I want to keep trying, but not too difficult to where it frustrates me is a big thing. It keeps you wanting to play, right? I mean, if you get the track down right away and it's a breeze the first lap you run on it, you kind of push it off and forget about it. This isn't like that. Ken Roczen's track is pretty darn good. We're going to give it like half a star. We're going to give it half a star. Really good job. I mean, it's not super original, but those whoops are insane, and that double triple section is quite difficult. Even the finish line is difficult, and this little double, these whoops kind of make it tough to get over this little double here in front of us. So really good job. Ken Roczen's track is awesome. I encourage you to go check it out if you're on PlayStation. It's called KR94 Moto, I think. So now we'll either end the video or we'll jump into the third track. Okay, so here we have the suggested track from you guys. This is one by Tom Adams. I think it was Tom Adams. He has like 6 or 7 different Moto Ranch tracks, so we chose what might be the hardest one called, Moto Ranch Pro. So let's jump into this. It didn't send us over the finish line very good. So it looks like a big triple. We might not do justice to this, but for you guys that play a lot of Monster Energy Supercross, maybe if we find some hard ones, you guys will like it too and feel like trying them out. Hopefully it's not too hard. If it's too hard, we won't be able to get it. Or if we don't have the right right bike setup. So far, so good. But I'm wondering if it's going to get really difficult in here. Hopefully not. I mean, all his tracks, I kind of looked at all of them. I couldn't really decide what to do. So when I saw Moto Ranch Pro, I was like, okay, maybe this one's going to be kind of hard. So far, it's not too hard. But, and we're definitely not pro. Come on, get this. Oh, we're just barely getting over that. So far, everything is just basically a full send for me. I kind of let off. Ooh, that's kind of a tough section. Okay, we might have found one of the tougher sections. Oh, come on, stretch it. Ooh, I like it. See, I mean, I wouldn't say anything is original about what he just did there, but it worked really well, and it was kind of difficult to get it, actually. Okay, so we need to give it a little bit more over that. So I always appreciate a track that's difficult, but not super difficult, like impossible. We didn't even quite get all the way over that. Interesting way of setting that up. Step up double. I mean, the flow on the track is really good. It's really good. Nothing. Ooh, that was kind of interesting. It looks like the takeoff and the landing were the same, I think, weren't they? Yeah, it looks like. Jumping all the way over this. On top and then step off. Looks like there might have been multiple ways through that section. And Tom, if I'm doing this wrong, or if I'm missing some lines, which I'm surely going to miss some lines that you are aware of that you would have liked to. Ooh, that's kind of tough. Okay. Okay, so we don't need to come out of that corner quite as hard as we did. And this was a big triple, I think. Oh, we're getting over it. So, I mean, it's difficult. It's for sure difficult, but I wouldn't say it's so difficult that an average casual player such as myself can't get around it. Now, that one section, I love those sections where it's something tough, like a triple or a quad, into the step on, step on, step on, step off sections. I love those because those are really tough to get sometimes. So let's see if we can actually get it. I keep messing up those whoops. All right, got over that just right. Sending this to a flat land. I wonder if that's going to throw us off. No, it looks like we're okay so far. The beginning part of the track is actually not as difficult as I was expecting it to be. Got over that triple a little bit better than last time. Yeah, we didn't send it all the way over that one last time. This time we cleared it. Oh man, difficult. That section is by far, I think, the toughest one on the track. Really well done, man. And you can tell it works. You can for sure tell that section's going to work. It's just difficult. This one's kind of tough too. So back-to-back tough rhythm lanes. I like it. Most of the track, I think, is not as tough as I was expecting it to be. And we got over it that time. Okay, cool. But it does have some sneaky sections in there. So far, so good. I mean, I think it's really good. There's nothing, just kind of like what we were saying before. I kind of like this too because it's like the same thing to take off to landing, but I was going to hit this a little bit different, but it looks like this is kind of the main way he wants you to hit it. Nothing really, really, really original, but everything is done really good. Now, I do like it. Like, if we're going to compare it to that last track, because, oh man, I messed this up. Oh no, not really. We kind of got it. If I was going to compare it to that last track, because it did everything good, but it didn't do anything great. This track, it does everything really good, but it does have the added fact that it had two sections, and I mentioned it already that I like tracks that are a little bit more difficult, that take a little time to learn, but actually that's going to be it because this track's kind of long. So, you know, I appreciate this track a little bit more because it has two sections that are difficult to get for a player like me, a player of my caliber. To hit that line every single time in those two sections that I was talking about would be difficult. So really well done. I mean, he has a lot. So just because this one's not like super amazing, I like it. I think it's a really, really good track. Doesn't mean some of his other ones aren't really, really good. So this specific one is pretty darn awesome. We're going to give it like maybe like 1 star. I think it's really good. And I think it doesn't have anything super original, but it has a really good flow, and it has the difficulty with those two rhythm sections, which is why, for me at least, it has the lower star rating specifically because of the difficulty. So really good job, Tom. I will definitely have to check out some of those other tracks you have when I'm just playing the game normally, but thank you so much for the suggestion, and thank you guys so much for supporting this series. Remember, this series is supported by you guys, so if you want to keep seeing it, make sure to leave a like, and let me know in the comments what your track is and what your name is on PlayStation, because it makes it so much easier to try and find the tracks. Otherwise, I'm just kind of guessing sometimes. And sometimes I can't find your tracks. Sometimes it just doesn't bring them up in the search. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Again, thank you so much for the support on this series so far. And until the next video, take it easy.